pronounce it like. Bee is like bee, he, moth. I don't know which I made with the Edith Glass. She. The shady trees cover him with their shadow, and the lilies lay both campus him about. He drinketh of the river, hasteth not, he trusteth, and he can down the Jordan into his mouth. He taketh it with his eyes, and nose pierceth through the snares. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a horn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak some words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take his a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle, do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another, they stick together that they cannot be sundered. By his sneezings a light doeth shine, his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps and sparks of fiery ball. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, and out of his seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow, and it turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together, they are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, he as hard as a piece of nether millstone. When he raiseth himself up, himself. The mighty are afraid by reason of breaking they fortify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. The arrow cannot make him see. Slings, stones are turned into him, into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the iron. He maketh the deep boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh the path to shine after him. One who would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth is not his like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is king over the children of time. Done.
Where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going?
Nowhere. Why? Can I sing it back?
Yeah.
While you play that
Can
game?
you scratch my back?
You can.
Says, withhold not correction from a child, for if thou beatest him with a rod, he shall not die. Thou shalt beat him with a rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell. And right here in this passage, God is letting us know that a good old-fashioned chastening is good for children. Now, the children, often when they're being chastened, they act like they're going to die. But the Bible's showing us here, they're not going to die. You're actually going to deliver their soul from hell. And again, when people might think, well, this isn't a good idea, I mean, listen to the child scream right there as they're dying. But the truth is, when that child is acting that way, you know what they're doing? They are actually manipulating you. Okay? They're actually manipulating you. And I want to preach tonight about sinful manipulation, because to manipulate, it means to manage or influence skillfully, especially in an unfair manner, or to manipulate human feelings, use especially the skill in some process of treatment or performance. And I was going to say, there is not one of us here that is not prone to being manipulative. This is something that is in our nature. And it's something that we have all naturally been from birth. Just remember, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So I'm going to be preaching tonight. There's probably going to be one person here that is going to get hit right between the eyes. That's what I'm talking about. But this is something that we all need to understand about ourselves. We are naturally sinful people, and it's important that we understand ourselves so we can work on these things and not be this way. Because manipulation, being manipulative, it is natural. Children are expert manipulators. They're the best at it. In fact, you can tell. Kelly, you want to come help me out? You come up here a minute? You want to help me out? You're not trouble. You want to come here? I need you to help me a second. She's trying to say no to Kelly. Kelly, come up here, man. She's like, I think, trying to act like it. Good. All right, she's not. She's playing dumb. That's manipulation right there. But yeah, her and Hannah are expert manipulators. Okay? Now what they do though? Tell me, sure, don't come up here. Somebody get her attention. She is see how they're playing this game like this. She thinks she's in trouble. I told her the other day, and I was like, if you're bad, Jody, I'm gonna call you out manipulating. And so don't worry about it. She thinks she's in trouble. But she was actually being good. But children think Abby was watching her, and she called her and she's like, "I'm not to listen to you." And so I went and I stood over the table and I looked at her and she gives me that. She was like, "Why do they do that cute little manipulate? Dad, are you gonna yell at somebody this cute?" Sometimes what Kelly and Hannah will do too, is they'll get on them, "I love you, Daddy." You know, they'll kiss you on the cheek, they'll do something sweet, make sweet faces. This little thing right here, she has got a will. Do you have a will? Are you stubborn sometimes? I mean, but the thing is, because she instinctively knows I'm way smaller than everyone in my family. Everyone bosses me around. I have no power. So they learn at a very young age. It's just natural to manipulate. They learn how to get their way. They know how to cry when they need to cry. And there are kids this way. I mean, who's going to win the fight between the two of us? Who do you think wins the fight? They know instinctively, so they use these little things. It's just instinctive in them. And if we're not careful, we carry this into the adult years. When we want to control people here. The children, they're weaker. Their parents are physically capable of dominating them. Yet at the same time, they're really good at getting them down. Little kids like this. Way smaller than their parents. I mean, they tell their parents what's what. They decide when it's time to go home. They decide when it's time to go to bed. They decide how to do something this little what we do. But yet, parents do it. We've all seen the moms and dads in love being controlled by people this little. And so manipulation is something that is it's a part of who we are. And sadly, many people when they grow up, they use manipulation to exert their will. And that's where they cry. I can't get my will. If I make this loud noise, maybe then mom and dad will go away. You know, sit down. You didn't get it. I know I said that. So again,
Nothing?
something children learn very early, something we all instinctively understand, is we all have
Come on.
we don't plan this stuff. We don't set out to do these things. We just naturally, instinctively do it. And you all know what I'm telling you the truth about Hannah, because your kids do the same thing too, dude. Who taught them that? Nobody taught them. Nobody sets out to do these things. These are things we naturally, instinctively do as simple people when we want to exert our will on other people. You know, we all know the false god of Calvinism here that ordains every bit of wickedness that happens in the world doesn't allow free will. We all do that. You know, the truth is, if we're honest, we all wish we were that guy. So we can exert our will on other people. We all live, you know, look how many Star Wars, wish they had the Force thing, you know what people do. Wish they had some kind of magic power so they could exert their will on other people. And so, again, everybody just lighten up tonight, because, again, we're all going to be making between times. Okay? I'm preaching to myself as much as anybody. I think pastors can be some of the worst when it comes to manipulation. Because pastors are naturally very opinionated. Pastors, they do have some authority in certain areas. We all, how our church grows, how it succeeds, a lot of it is dependent on what other people do, versus what we do. And therefore, it's easy for us to exhort to manipulation to get what we want out of people. It's just easy. Sometimes it's easier to do that, but it's wrong. And there's a simple way that we can do this, and we don't want to do this, so we all got to watch it. And so the word manipulation is not in the Bible, but I think there's some words that are similar. I think one word that we see in the Bible that is similar is the word beguile. And in Genesis 3:13, it says, "And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat." How did Satan was his will that Adam and Eve eat the forbidden fruit? How did he put Adam and Eve? Because Satan can't make them eat the fruit. So you know what he did? It was his will for them to eat the fruit. He didn't want to eat the fruit. Adam didn't want to eat the fruit. So Satan's like, what do I got to do? I'm going to eat the fruit. And what he did? He beguiled them. He says the same thing as in the 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that's in Christ. So Satan, while he is powerful, Satan did not have the authority, Satan did not have the ability to make Adam and Eve sin. So what Satan did, he beguiled Eve through the same way, knowing if I can deceive Eve into eating this fruit, then she can get Adam and Eve to eat the fruit. And then what will he accomplish in getting mankind? So Satan couldn't make it happen. He couldn't force it to happen. So he beguiled them and he manipulated them so they would do his will. And we all understand, we do not have the authority to, and we do not have the power to make other people do things. So typically, what we often do is we resort to manipulation. We resort to beguiling and such things. Numbers 25:16 says, "And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Vex the Midianites and smite them, for they vex you with their wiles, wherewith they have beguiled you in the matter of Peor, in the matter of Cosbi's daughter, prince of Midian, their sister, which was slain in the day of the plague for Peor's sake." This is a reference to when Balaam got Israel to sin. Balaam was paid by Balak, I believe it was, to curse Israel. But Balaam did not have the power to curse Israel. He's like, and it wasn't that he didn't want to, he wanted to, but he recognized, I don't have the power to do anything to Israel. So you know what he did? He beguiled them. He got them to commit fornication, knowing that if they do this great sin, then God will punish them. It's a very serious thing. And so God told them to vex the Midianites because they were the one that got Balaam to do this. But again, Balaam did not have the power or authority, but he had a will, he had a desire. He wanted to see Israel cursed, so that if I can get them to sin, then that'll bring a curse on themselves. I don't have the authority to exert my will, so he tricked them. He beguiled them. This was very important. And so Okay? Now, folks, I'm not trying to beat anybody tonight. Listen, we've all done this, okay? Let me just say it to you. I'm not trying to be mean. Women for all seasons and genders. Women especially. Okay? Women especially. You do this, and it's natural. It's nature. I'm not picking on you for doing this, okay? It's natural to do this because you are okay, you have a will too. There's a will for certain people more than your husband is. You know, he is. You are the leader of that family. So, and he is in authority. He is in charge. So, he's not going to exert our will on other people. And is this really a situation where you need to be right? And a lot of times, it's not. And so we got to watch this. She saw the child and behold the babe wept, and she had compassion on him. One of the Hebrews children. Want to fix the problem. But here's the thing. Are you crying because you're having a problem with authority and you're trying to exert your will on that? That's not good. We shouldn't do that kind of thing. That's not. And again, if you're crying just because you're upset with me, there's 1,000 reasons you can cry. I've got a book sermon one time called The Power of Tears. And tears are a powerful thing. And they can be used for good. I mean, you go through a very precious seeds and apples coming out of the voice and bring issues with them. Yeah, but again, we can use those power tears in a way to manipulate. That's not good, because ultimately, here's what you just need to ask yourself. Am I just trying to force my will on somebody else? Am I just trying to have my way? it's not good. You just need to recognize that I'm doing this because I can't accept the fact that someone else is doing something I don't want to do. God didn't give us power and control over our lives, and we should not try to exert that power and authority when we don't have it. So when we cry just to get over, it's rebellion. 1 Samuel 15:23 says, "For rebellion," it says, "the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, yet also rejected thee from your king." Rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. Rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. And when you're rebelling against authority, what are you doing? You're trying to exert your will over someone else's will when they actually have authority. And then you look at the witchcraft, okay? I'm not talking about the witchcraft with the witch doctor, magic, and all that kind of stuff. Who can exert your will on other people? Isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that how that happens? Is it manipulating someone else to spend their money, do this, do that, do whatever? Isn't that what witchcraft is all about? It's all about usurping people. It's all about giving yourself power in areas where you are not supposed to have power. I don't like what this person's doing. I'm going to cast a spell on them and make them sick. Well, you know what? It's their life, it's their will, it's their choice, it's not yours. And when you're going and using witchcraft to try to manipulate that situation, that's super evil, and that's what you're doing when you are in rebellion. And it is. You're trying to control something that is not yours to control, trying to exert your will somewhere where you do not have any power. And so children, so often, and even wives sometimes, will also try to force their will when it is contrary to the authority and the will has have no power. I mean, I tried to teach my kids earlier, crying. I try to always make sure that crying does not produce good for them. Unless so there's legitimate reasons to cry. Okay? They find out their mom died in a car wreck, they're crying. You know, I mean, obviously there's legitimate reasons. But if I told them they don't get ice cream, that's not exactly gonna do it. That's what they ought to do because they realize that their power and authority. So sometimes kids understand the punishment. So I'm going to punish them. I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to have a bad attitude. Since they've been kind to me and not giving me ice cream, I'm going to let them go and be a miserable. That's hard. That's you trying to exert your will. So again, I don't want anybody to think I'm teaching it's a sin to cry. But let me tell you, it is a sin when you do it to control other people, when you do it to guilt trip them in a way to exert your will. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about exerting your will on other people. We call that manipulation. And so when it comes to tears, they are powerful. Tears do have power, but there is a proper way to use that power. There's an improper way to use that power. You shouldn't use it to exert your will on other people. That is manipulative. Another thing too, that is a manipulative thing or a power move that people will do is the ignoring or silent treatment. Is another thing. Look what it says in 2 Samuel chapter 14. Ignoring or the silent treatment. This is why people do these. Whenever they get mad at somebody, I don't like what they did. I don't like what my husband did. Therefore, I'm not going to talk to him. What does that do? It creates a tension. It creates a problem. We do it on purpose to try to make people uncomfortable. Okay? And folks, listen, let's use the halos today. Right? We all do this kind of stuff sometimes. When we don't like something, I don't like them to make sure everybody knows I don't like it. And people do that out in church. They don't like something that's going on. They're going to do some weird thing, make sure everybody knows, so they can like ruin everybody's fun. That's not right. We shouldn't be enforcing our will on other people. somebody is living a life that is against our will, that is contrary to our will, somebody does things in their life, oppresses their mind, their area, whatever it is, just whatever it is that somebody because that's going to look really bad if I go and tell them, hey, I'm trying to control your stuff. Stop being this way. I'm just gonna make them figure it out. Then we can just play all these mind games with people and stuff. It's just not good. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not right. You shouldn't resort to manipulative things. Another thing too that people can do is nagging. Is another thing too. In Genesis 16:15, and she said on him, talking about Sheba to Samson, how can I say I love you when my heart is not loving you? Thy great strength lies, and it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words. She pressed him daily with her words. This guy that killed 1,000 men with a jawbone of an ass, this woman with her words encouraged him so that his soul was vexed of it. She almost nagged the strongest man of all to death. I don't care how pretty she wasn't worth it. Okay? These kind of women are not worth it. She's literally nagging him to death, and what does he do? He ends up conforming to her will. He ends up telling her everything, and basically in the long run, it got him killed. By doing that, she manipulated him. She obviously was better than Samson. If Samson knew things that she didn't know, she wanted to use his algorithm to give it to him. She nagged him. She kept pressing him. And I understand, this was an illegitimate relationship they had going on. Samson didn't have authority over her. But again, in a husband and wife situation, in a children-parent relationship, kids, you shouldn't be nagging your parents. You shouldn't be annoying them with these things. You shouldn't be bugging with these things. And that kind of thing is wrong. That is rebellion. If they chasing out of him. I'll use that term, chasing rather than the way we would say it at home. But yeah, we chased out of him, and that was good. But again, that's kids, if you're listening, are knowing your parents, nagging your parents. You're not really listening. You're still trying to exert your will place where God is not being authority. We need to learn to expect that everyone in here has a will. Okay? We got a bunch of different wills in here. We all have them. But none of us should use obligation on others to get our will. That's not right. Doesn't mean to that people have to play the power play is to follow. The following is all right, either by doing something by deception or artifice or by taking something wrongfully without the knowledge of the same. To cheat. I thought about it before the dictate that to defraud me of his right. Another definition is to withhold wrongfully from another what is due to him. To prevent one wrongfully from obtaining what he may justly claim, or he illustrate wrongfully. And so, if something technically belongs to someone else, and it is in the power of the to give them what is expected, what they are entitled to, and you refuse to give it to them, you are defrauding. And that's wrong. That often is a power that people use to exert their will on other people. For example, spouses often will withhold themselves physically only to control. That is wrong. That is very wicked. There are legitimate reasons, when maybe you're not able to do certain things, but when you do that, when you withhold to control, that's wrong. And this, again, typically that's done by women because they are the weaker vessel, and husbands ought to love and fully acknowledge that as the weaker vessel. But for women, you shouldn't use that, the fact that your husband respects that, and the fact that he honors you as a way to exert your will against his authority. That's some pretty wicked stuff. That's wrong. You definitely shouldn't do that kind of thing because you're mad at your wife or whatever. That's super petty. You got some serious problems. 1 Corinthians 7:1 says, now concerning things whereof you know it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every man have his own husband. Let the husband have his wife in benevolence, and likewise also the wife. For the wife hath not power in her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one another, except that ye may consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, that Satan tempt you not make them sweat it out. You don't do that. You don't do that people, but people often hold it. Sometimes maybe something happens and it's literally not in your power. And if it's not in your power, you're not being manipulated. You can't do it. But often when we hold things that people expect from us, that they think we're going to get, and we do it as a way to control and hurt. When people get mad, a lot of times this is how I want things done. They will hold their tithes and offerings a lot of times when things aren't going their way. They'll withhold participation from things, their support. Hey, listen, when you're a part of the church, you ought to be supportive of that church. It's these things are expected. We kind of count on these things. It's like kids. Whenever we, as a church, we made a big financial decision, and when we bought the building, it's decisions that we make, and that is with the intention that people are going to continue to be faithful and to continue to give. And we could have been wrong. The whole church, we just all vote to buy this building, and there's a lot done on the church. That's not right. You shouldn't do that. Withhold certain things as a way to control. I'm going to withhold my it's kind of this silent treatment they give the church. So just like that wife, come to her and say, "What did I do wrong, honey? Tell me what to change, and I'll fix everything." And our wife is kind of miserable, and I'll repeat every night and sing songs, and I'll always do whatever you ask me to do. That's the way we're supposed to happen. After they give up, it's not right. And as some people do that, I'm going to withhold participation, and hopefully the pastor will come to me and be like, "What have I done wrong? Please, lay out to me. I'll preach the sermons that you give me knowledge." They think sometimes manipulative. And you ought to be able to articulate. When you have the church, what did I do wrong? Feelings. One of the ways you say something about your life, what am I supposed to do? And yet people will do that. They'll just hoping to get the pastor's attention. Here's how you get my attention. Great message. That's the way to get my attention. And here's the thing too. Sometimes you gotta understand, especially if you come with a problem, sometimes there's things that are outside the will. I'm the pastor of the church, but I don't have the ability to control everyone else's will either, and to control what everyone else does. I don't have control over that. In my power. Than that, and especially when you never talk about it. It's like, hey, is it possible we could change this? It's like, well, yeah, we could change it. And we not here. In my previous church, I remember there was someone who was always late for everything, and expected everyone in the church to always wait on her. And whenever, especially when we would go places and travel things, I was always very strict. We're leaving at this time. Which means we're leaving at this time. And so when that time would come, we would leave at that time. Like I said, we would. And she was never there. And she would get left. And finally, one day she got mad and chewed me out for leaving her multiple times in one event. And I said, listen, we had 30 other people that all showed up in time. And you are demanding that I follow the schedule of just you. You're just doing your own thing. While the other 30 people all did exactly what they were supposed to do. You wanted all 30 of us to be late because of you. That's not right. That's not how these things are supposed to work. So it's like, what do? Do we just change everything in the church to accommodate the one? Or how about the one just get with the program that literally everyone else is doing? And what? People are manipulative. And you know what? Some of these PowerPoint requirements are often used by this individual, especially the tears one. And it never helped in these situations, but we got to watch out for that. So there are many things all of us are probably doing as simple man to get others to do, and that's what we just need to do. Okay? Sometimes you need to do this with your children. You need to do this with husbands. You need to do this with your wives. Husbands need to do this with yourselves sometimes. And remember, our lives are being turned topsy-turvy because of someone else. We just need to ask ourselves, where do I have more control or authority? So you know what you do? You do anything. You have the position to be in position. That's what we have to let people do. If someone just needs to get in a position, sometimes the others just butt over the line too much. Listen, I should, and I get my sense. You know, we used to do, I guess that we call it manipulative things, especially when I was young. You know, me and my friends, there were things that people did that hurt us. We would oftentimes do those same things in an extreme way to kind of get fun. Let me give you examples. Okay, this isn't professional. When you're a pastor, you're always trying to get people to do stuff. And it's easy to want to resort to manipulation. I know how to do it, and guess what? All of you in here know how to do it. And we're good at it. We're naturals at it. It is a part of our sin nature. We want to control other people. We want to have power over other people's lives. We want to use the force and move people around like we want, like we want to be able to possess people with our spirits so we can get them to start doing the things that we want them to do. We want that ability, but at the same time, we don't have it. And what we just need to learn to do is just accept the fact that this is not my place. I have no authority here. I have no power here, and I'm not going to try to create it, especially using simple means. I'm not going to use these power moves. It's not right. And if we would just learn our place, if we would learn to do our own personal business, and we would learn there's one thing we can do. The one thing we can do is influence through example. I say this too. Influence through your example without telling everyone you're trying to influence their example. I showed up to church 45 minutes early today to make sure I set the example that you ought to be at church on time because some of y'all are sticking late all the time. And I'm just trying to set an example. Shut up. And you just said all that. Guilt trip everybody. Hey, no, just do it and shut up about it. Okay? If we would just learn to set an example and shut up about what we're doing, the Bible says in 1 Thessalonians 4:11, and then study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as God commanded you. That you may work honestly toward them that without, and that you may have lack of nothing. These things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Jesus set the example. What do you want other people doing? You know what? You do those things. somebody who did that one time. Literally went on social media after somebody had cursed them and said mean things about them. And they went and they bought them. They like ordered these steaks that they had ordered to them. They lived in another state. And then they made a video announcing what they did. They brought that person Bible. And this person, they've been bad-mouthing us. And, you know, the Bible says, bless and curse you. And so I send them steaks. You just lost your reward. That's not how that works. That's not how you're supposed to do these things. But you know, at the end of the day, we just don't trust God. Listen, if you really want to treat people so bad, okay, then the way to do it is go to God. Okay? My kids all the time, they come to me to try to get me to exert their will on their siblings. And everybody has ever done this before, like where they get mad at their sibling because of what their other sibling did. I don't think she's smarter than me. And you know what I always tell my kids? Alice thoughts do not change reality. And it's like, hey, there's somebody else's kids do that. Anybody else's kids do that, just like that. It's just, what do they want them to do? It's like, they think this, they're doing this, they're use authority, so I will tell them. And they'll literally come up to the other I know. Or they'll say, Dad, can you tell Chloe to whatever? It's like, why are they doing that? Because they have no authority. Their sibling is not listening to them. So they're trying to influence my will. They're trying to conform my will to their will. So their will be forced on their sibling. And so, again, and that's annoying. Okay, that's annoying to me as a parent. But again, if your concern is legitimate about somebody else, if you're concerned about how somebody's behaving is legitimate, go tell God. Go tell God, Lord, please help this person stop being such a sourpuss and just, smile every once in a while and help them to learn how annoying of a hairdo that is and how ugly that dress is so they stop impulsing me by it. And you know what? Hey, go ahead. Listen, if you're legit, if that's legit, God will hear that prayer, but you know what? God might just say, hey, you know what? You need to just chill out. I'm going to send you a person to church to teach you some patience on these things because you got a bad attitude. But at the end of the day, what it all comes down to, we all want our will all at once. And that's just not how life works. That's not how God intended things. And so hopefully this will help you at least know yourself a little bit, okay? If you got hit between the eyes tonight, don't feel bad. My wife, she wants to make it feel better. She was like, I picture myself in some reason. We all do it. I gotta picture myself as much as I do anybody else, and I have to give the secrets. This is why I tell you these things that pastors do. I tell you them so I can't do them anymore.
See? She listens. Now you can read.
I read already.
How about your Bible?
It's like so annoying. It feels like in the background of the story, it feels like the background of the story is all like dog noises.